Whether you're a grower or a shower, Google makes it very clear that as you get older, you're going to get smaller down there. It is a phenomenon called penile shrinkage, and it's inevitable if you don't put some things into place to prevent it. We call it the Penile Shrinkage Protection Plan. I'm Dr. Rachel, and in this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets that you can use to bypass or prevent the shrinkage thing. Not just what you can do to prevent it, but most importantly, if your peenie has become a weenie, what you can do to successfully reverse the dreaded penile shrinkage thing. First, we'll discuss what causes your most prized possession to shrink up on you. It is a medical term that we call atrophy, and along with this, we'll discuss the best way to prevent penile atrophy or shrinkage, just in case it hasn't already happened to you. You'll be able to marvel when you're in your 70s and 80s that it actually never happened to you. Then we'll dive into what you can do to actually reverse penile shrinkage. Yes, you can actually watch it transform in a positive direction before your very eyes and give yourself measurable results, so to speak. So make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you the best way to reverse penile shrinkage through an easy to follow step-by-step process. I'm going to lay it out for you. Then you can do it at home, DIY, see results fairly quickly, and the best part, it's a process that doesn't require any surgeries, it doesn't require any injections, and it really doesn't require a bunch of money. So first, let's talk about why this happens. Now, you can't do a solution without understanding why it even happened in the first place. So we're going to spend a little time on why your erection shrinks or atrophies over time so that the solution actually makes sense. Because if you know the backstory, you will take the solution seriously because you'll know why you're doing it in the first place. It won't sound so crazy. So the shrinkage occurs because the blood flow decreases to the area. Now, this may not sound like that big of a deal, but I want you to think of it like this. Your erectile tissue needs nutrients and oxygen to survive. Now, in fact, every part of your body does. As your blood vessels age and they begin to operate less efficiently because of damage to the lining of the blood vessels, something called atherosclerosis starts to happen. Now, your doctor may have told you that it means that cholesterol clogs up your arteries, but it doesn't. The blood vessels actually stop working as well as they have in the past, and inflammation develops within the lining of that blood vessel and starts to form kind of like a foamy plaque within the lining of the blood vessels, which causes less blood flow to be able to get to the erectile tissue, to get to the brain, everywhere, in fact. Your body makes the decision even to just send blood to the most important areas when atherosclerosis sets in. And it's not prioritizing your erection as the first line of preferred blood flow. When the tissue gets less blood flow down there and less nourishment and less vitamins, it starts to shrink. The clinical term is atrophy. The brain shrinks when it gets less blood flow. Atrophy. That's why your memory starts to decrease with aging. Your kidneys shrink when blood flow starts to decrease, and so does your erection, your penile tissue. Everything does. And now the other reasons for the shrinkage and the decreased blood flow to the erectile tissue, I'll run through fairly quickly. Now, in your 20s, you get stiff 5 to 8 times while you're sleeping. Magic, right? And aging decreases that number. Those nocturnal erections, push-ups for erectile strength. They actually make sure your erectile tissue gets nourishment that it needs. Now, those stop and the dick ups stop. Now, if you're married, number 2, you paradoxically may have thought, hey, we're about to get married, we're going to have more sex. Well, actually, that isn't true. Studies tell us and life shows us that couples who were sexually active when they got married actually have less sex once they are married. And the amount of sexual activity gets even lower once the kids arrive. So this means less sex equals fewer dick ups, equals less blood flow. Now, because every time you get an erection, I want you to think of it as exercise, a dick up. So having a reduced amount of sex actually contributes to the shrinkage, for sure. Now, as you age, your testosterone levels also start to decrease, and your body's ability to use the testosterone that is there actually decreases as well. Low testosterone contributes to shrinkage. Now, as I'm going through these various causes of penile shrinkage, I have one more super important cause of shrinkage, and then we're going to dive into how to prevent penile shrinkage, and most importantly, how to reverse it, because it may have already happened to you. So how can we reverse the size loss? Now look at your belly. Is it starting to grow out more and take up more space? Just turn to the side, be honest with yourself. If so, it contributes to shrinkage by two mechanisms. One, because if your belly looks big, your guy really appears small next to it. It's basic optics, big and small. Because a big or growing belly is a medical marker of insulin resistance means that your body isn't using sugar properly and that your metabolism is thrown off. Insulin resistance will damage your blood vessels and it will make it difficult for your body to properly use hormones like testosterone. So now that we've covered why your penis and your erectile tissue shrink or atrophy over time, let's get into how to prevent it from actually happening. Now, the most important thing that you can do to prevent shrinkage is to make sure that your blood vessels and your cells that line them stay as healthy as possible by eating nitrate-rich foods to keep nitric oxide levels maximized. Now, getting enough dietary magnesium by avoiding overly processed foods designed to make you sick and addicted to it, and by moving around and exercising regularly, and of course, by making sure that you don't develop insulin resistance or prediabetes. The great way to keep an eye on things is to keep an eye on your abdominal area. Don't let your belly or your gut get big. Big belly equals penile shrinkage. Now, the next way to prevent penile shrinkage is to stay sexually active. Even if you're celibate or on a sexual cleanse or live thousands of miles away from your person, make sure you get erect regularly because this solution is about getting stiff. It's not about exploding. All right? There's a big difference. Now, the next fact is going to make you pause because you might not realize how important getting sleep is to maintaining your size. Yes, you have to get at least 6 hours of sleep on most nights because this is when testosterone is made. And this is the time for your body to, without you even knowing it, exercise your erection. Your body cannot do this if you're getting up in the middle of the night to urinate or if you are only getting a few hours of sleep each night. Just won't happen. Now to recap, in order to prevent penile shrinkage, work to keep your blood vessels as healthy as possible. Don't get a gut. Stay physically active. Big gut equals shrinkage. Eat for your erections. Stay sexually active and make sure you get good sleep. Now let's discuss how to reverse penile shrinkage. I want you to think of it like you are breathing life back into him. Now, everything you read online will tell you that shrinkage is inevitable and shrinkage is irreversible. Anytime anyone tells you something is permanent and that there's no hope for recovery, never believe it. There's always hope and there's always a solution, and I'm about to share it with you right now. Step 1, give yourself what I call an endothelial cell makeover. Damaged blood vessels make less nitric oxide and have reduced blood flow. Make the lining of your blood vessels healthy again. Increase your intake of magnesium. Low concentration of magnesium in the blood increases inflammation and leads to damage of those blood vessels and promotes clotting in the arteries, which reduces blood flow even further. Now, also increase your intake of vitamin C. Vitamin C may help increase the availability of nitric oxide, which actually improves blood flow and is decreased when those blood vessels are damaged. Randomized controlled trials found that supplementing with vitamin C actually improved the cell markers of endothelial cell function. Bingo. Flavonoids from certain fruit and vegetables. They also increase the production of nitric oxide in endothelial cells. If you don't like to take a bunch of supplements, which I know I don't, try my eFunction smoothie recipes. They are designed to take the guesswork right out of improving blood flow, improving endothelial cell function. You can find more information pinned below to the top of the comment section about these recipes, as well as I've got a free gift on how to eat for your erection, so you never have to wonder about that again. Step 2, pump. Every article will tell you there is no evidence to support that pumping will increase the size of your penis and that it is temporary. But let me tell you, the real deal. Now, my experience as a physician and with clinical practice, and my experience has been the exact opposite. But don't just take my word for it. Thousands of guys who have sent me messages because they've listened, like this one, Like this one. Look at all these messages. Will tell you the same thing. Check out this video I even have here on YouTube about pumping. And while you watch, check out the comments. Clearly, either all of these men in our community and my previous patients are delusional, or all of this online information is wrong for some reason, right? Now, another contraindication to what our medical experts and these articles and Googles and authors actually say is the fact that the very first form of erection rehab for men with clinical trials to support it is following men who were left impotent and shrunken, tiny after having their prostates removed. And what did they use for rehab therapy principally? You guessed it, a penis pump. In fact, the pump was found to prevent the post-prostate removal shrinkage and to prevent erectile dysfunction from setting in. Now, it is obviously absolutely not true that a penis pump protocol will not improve the perception of size. Now, I say perception because who really cares what the tape measure says? If you think it's bigger and so do your partners, well then, so be it. It's bigger. Who else's opinion really matters here, right? So get cleared by your doctor before you start. Since you should never pump if you have sickle cell or certain bleeding conditions, check with your doctor first. And get a quality pump. And start slow. Pump 4 to 5 times a week. Leave your guy under vacuum pressure for 3 to 5 minutes. Release and repeat the whole thing twice. Now, step 3, after you finish pumping, massage using lube. Move the blood from the base to the head. This is an exercise called jelqing by some. Now, you move with a slow squeezing, stroking motion. It's basically a firm massage. Do not massage back and forth. That's defeating the purpose. Step 4, testicular massage. Each day in the shower, you gently tug down on the testicles and massage them to increase circulation and blood flow there. Now, the Leydig cells within the testicles make up 95% of your testosterone. Yep. So let's wake those jewels up. Wake them up. Step 4, lose any belly weight that you have. This will reduce insulin resistance and it will just make him look more like a whale compared to your flattened belly, right? Start out just taking gentle walks, playing more basketball, more tennis, just moving more. Then gradually increase your exercise routine after getting cleared with your physician. Step 5, get stiff. Wake it up. The pump gives you fake erections with the assistance of a vacuum. You need to try to create real ones. This extra bit of penile exercise actually improves blood flow, break through the plaques that have developed and stretch the limits of the erection. This newly improved blood flow will help bring that atrophied tissue back to life, back to fullness. So subscribe and turn these notifications on so that you won't miss this type of transformative information that will keep you young and show you how to age in reverse. And don't forget the free gifts I have pinned for you below in the top of the comments. I love you and I'll see you next time. Bam!